Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. And let's see if you can hear me and see my screen here. And yeah, looks like everything's good. All right, so, and we are broadcasting in YouTube. Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, welcome to the webinar. And we do this webinar daily. This advanced webinar with live forward-looking analysis. It's not hindsight, and it's based off our educational course so that you can put the pieces together from that course in the live market and put it to the test. We also have Jay Trader and Scott Bolsini Wednesday and Thursday, and they will go through their method of trading. All right, so we also have quite a lineup in our Discord chat room. Or you can see, on our YouTube page here, other streamers that are up and coming here. We have options with Doug, and we have futures live analysis with Tom B. Right after this webinar. I want to also note that we have here, as you guys can see, Fausto Puglisi. He's going to be trading. Presenting later today at 1 p.m. East Coast time. And then Doug will also be streaming at the same time. So we're going to have multiple events here. All right, so you can see we're growing and growing more here and offering all these great events for you guys so that we support you here in the community and your understanding of order flow. All right, so let's continue on. Let's go through the disclosures and jump into the market. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look here. We're looking at the S&P E-mini. We can look at whatever you guys like. Just let me know. This is typically what everyone wants to see, so we cover this. Majority rules here. All right, we have stock. Bookmap connects to stocks. It connects to cryptocurrencies. So many different things to look at if you guys prefer. Just let me know. All right, let's take a look at the here and now. This is what we usually do in these webinars. What's going on in this S&P? Well, here we can see we had some data here at 8:30 and the boost here to the upside. You can see the buyers come in. We see a big stop run here as well, and the S&P went up to 40.40 and then has climbed up since to 40.42. And did it make it to 40.50? No, not yet. Just shy of it. So looks like it wants to trade there up at this liquidity here at 40.50, and here we go right now. All right, so yeah, I'm actually typically these bigger figure numbers transact. We'll look at the order flow right now to understand if we're going to get the price movement up into this 40.50 since we're about 8 points away right now. All right, so well, it's certainly not ready yet as it's selling off here, but let's just take a deeper look here and we'll just look at array here in some of these areas. Okay, because I am really curious here if this is going to be supported or not. Okay, that's some pretty hard selling there. Okay, a lot of icebergs on the other side, a lot of stops just being triggered below this area here, this swing here. And that's some pretty hard selling. All right, well, yeah, sellers there looks like they want to continue moving it lower here, but let's take a look here. We're at our levels of interest here, the swing as well as this trend line. Okay, so now this is what we see in the order flow right now. Hard selling, no question about it. And then look at the selling down here. and then look at this move here. Okay, a little bit of selling, buyers coming in. Great. We're looking for the move right back up into 41, maybe 44, and maybe this is enough to get lots of buyers in here to scoop it up to try to trade to 50 at this point. All right, so it's just a scenario here. I don't see that happening at the moment, but we want to cover these different scenarios in the price action so that when we see it start to unfold and the order flow lends a hand toward that direction, that's when we want to look for an opportunity. That's when we have aligned our higher time frames with the lower time frame. So for example, right here, looking for buyers. Okay, here they are. Let's see if these buyers can now move it up into 41 and to 43. Okay, so here's why. Sellers in control here, move lower, buyers come in, and look at this little pullback here, right? This swing here at 36, right? It just traded off of that, and then we got buyers up here. That's where we're looking for buyers to lift it higher up into 43. All right, so and they're already doing it. This would be an opportunity, a potential opportunity to look for and now this would be kind of it would be a scalp up into 43 more or less, and then you would or you could take it all off at 43 as well, and take it from there and look for the next opportunity. So there's different scenarios, different ways of trading. Order flow is what we're covering though, okay, and different time frames in order flow here. So for example, maybe you'd be looking to hold this, take some off at 43, and then hold this for a bigger move up into 50, okay, up here, right? So anyway, if you were getting aggressive in one of these areas in here, there's many considerations for managing that trade. You're in it in here, right? Let's suppose around 39.50 you're in it, and let's say it doesn't get to 43. Okay, it looks like it's just about to trade it, but let's say you didn't take some off at 43. It never made it to 43. Put your stop at break even as a consideration for managing this, right? So you didn't lose anything, but you gave it a chance. Okay, so you managed your risk, right? Now we're basing off of the order flow in here, and that's how order flow can be used as an edge. Right now, in this case here, let's suppose you took some off at 43. Okay, great. You can move your stop to break even, and you're holding a runner here for 50. All right, now let's suppose, and it's looking pretty good here. Okay, so let's suppose though that and we're reading the order flow here, but we're talking about trade management now. All right, so let's suppose that let's just get to the rectangle tool here. Let's just use this. We've covered this many times in the past. So let's say you're in around 39.50. All right, and you took some off up here at 43. Okay, sounds pretty good, looks pretty plausible. And now we're going to make an equal rectangle here. We're going to make it a little bit smaller though. Okay, a little bit smaller. And that will cover our stop plus break even. And let's take that and let's move that down below here. All right, so now this is a possibility here to put your stop down here, way down here at 36. And if you got stopped out because you took some off at 43, if you got stopped down here at 36, you would be break even plus 1. Okay, so you would make a little bit of money just to cover your costs. It would be a break even trade though. All right, and that's one way to manage this, but give it a little more breathing room to work. All right, so that's a consideration here. These are things to go back and study and to weave into your trading plan. How do you want to trade? What makes you most comfortable? And that's really the key, is to be comfortable and consistent with what you're comfortable with. Anyway, yeah, does that make sense to you guys? Does there's two different ways I covered in managing this. One is well, three different ways actually. One is all in, all out at 43. Another one is all in here at 39.5, partial at 43, hold for a runner, okay, for 50. The other one is all in at 39.5, partial at 43, but your stop is at the overall break even on the entire position, right? And you give it more room to run. Whatever it is you feel most comfortable with, that's the important thing here. All right, so anyway, let me know if you have any questions on this. Any questions on the reading of the order flow here as well, okay, because we're just about up to 50, and I still think it's going to transact. Okay, we're selling off right now a little bit here, but looking for more buyers to try to come in and trade it up to 50. Okay, so here they come. See, we're looking for the buyers right here, right now, and for that move into 50 right now. Okay, let's see if we can get, maybe you can get to 52 as well. Okay, there's our move to 50, right? Okay, so and here, this, you know, look, this is a possible scale into the position as well. Again, we're talking about order flow in here, and that's what the main thrust of this webinar is all about. But right now we're talking more about an order flow setup, but a lot more about trade management. Okay, so this would be a possible scale in here around this 47 level, and then trade it up to 50 and take it off. You're still in one though in the overall position. So now you've scaled in and scaled out a little bit here, 3 points or so, but you still have one position on. Okay, so you've scaled out 2 positions, one is still running. Okay, but we're looking for a higher probability outcome in the order flow here, and for it to trade to a specific level and take some off and reduce your risk, right? So anyway, some different ways of looking at this and managing it. All right, any questions on that? Yeah, Arthur, if you want to load the micro, sure. Just who's your data provider? I can show you for Rhythmic. For the ES, it's very, very simple. Rhythmic, Exchange, CME, and then here we want to input micro ES, MES. H is the contract for March, and 3 is for 2023. Okay, that's it. And then hit subscribe. All right, and then let's take a look at it here. Now, why we don't, I mean, I want to cover this. This is it's a good question, and we might as well cover it right now. This is another way to dramatically reduce your risk. This is a great feature here in Bookmap. I want to show you. Now look at, we're going to jump over here and look at the chart for the MES, right? The micro contract. Look at the liquidity in here. Look at the big difference. Okay, this is traded heavily algorithmically. These are algos in here lifting, pulling their liquidity into different areas. And you can see at 40.50 there was still some pretty high liquidity in there. That looks like it transacted, but looking for 52 now, maybe even 55 on this one, in a breakout here. All right, so why do you you can trade this instrument, but the heat map is not giving you as much information. So what you can do in Bookmap is utilize this cross trading feature. It is excellent. We've had this for a long time, and let me show you how it works. Go to the ES, Okay, the big contract here, or the mini contract, which is 10 times bigger than the micro. All right, so then what we want to do here is open up your trading trade control panel here. Okay, the padlock, and we're going to turn it on. Now it's in here, target instrument. Okay, if you don't see it in here, right click in here and go to configure, or I'm sorry, let's just actually hide the panel. I'll just demo it here. I don't see it in here now. Ooh, I hid the wrong one. Hold on a minute. Okay, so anyway, you can basically, if you don't see it in here, let's hide it again. Okay, now we don't see it. All right, so you don't see it in here. This is what to do. Right click in here. Okay, and then go to add panel and add cross instruments trading panel. Okay, and this is it here. All right, now here you would select your cross instrument. You click on the drop down here. Now the reason that this is not displaying here for me is because if you look in the lower right hand corner, I am in live data but trading simulated, and you cannot use it for trading simulated. Okay, if it said trading live that you use in the run options when you first start Bookmap, you would have access now to the MES up here, and you would select it, and then you would trade from this chart, and it would warn you, and pop-up would say like you are trading off of the ESE mini. However, the positions are taking place in the MES micro account. And there's our breakout, guys, into 52, and let's see if we can still get to 55 here. Okay, so anyway, that's a beautiful stop run here as well above 50. All right, any questions on that? Play around with that. It's a really great feature to utilize in Bookmap. Now to utilize it, you'll have to have the Global Plus to be able to trade. Okay. All right, we're still in an uptrend as well, so still looking for higher highs and higher lows. This actually makes me a little uncomfortable in the order flow. Here's why. This is a big stop run here. So if I see sellers down here, okay, a lot of sellers here, I would look for a move from 48 down to 45. Okay, so it's up to you now if you're in your longer term position here. I don't see a shift in the order flow yet. Okay, but this is a stop run, and if we see sellers come in on the other side, it's up to you. Do you think that it's going to bounce off of here and come up to 55, or do you think it's going to kind of bounce off the mid of this range in here, which it seems to be doing, and then come up to 51.5 or 55 up here? All right, so I don't see any, I'm not getting any insight in this order flow right now whatsoever. Okay, in fact, now I am a little bit. I'm seeing those sellers, so I think they are going to reach it down here. I didn't know that though until I saw those sellers come in here, right? So you know, if the order flow doesn't give you insight, that's fine. Don't do anything. All right, so now we never made it down here to this 45 yet, but I don't think it's over yet. I'm not sure. I know that the sellers came in here. They may come in again. All right, I'm just not getting much out of this here. This stop run here and this move back into the range is what made me leery here. Is that it was not accepted. It's a stop run for the most part. It's a big one. It's over 1,000 contracts or so. Let's just turn on the stops and icebergs on chart, and we'll see what it is. So we know that's a lot. So if it does not accept above that, here's 1200. There we go. All right. If it does not accept above that, and it starts to come back into the range, we're looking for the other side of the range, which it did. It just didn't go into the liquidity down here. Okay, it did come to the other side of the range here, though. This swing right to it. All right. Does that make sense in the order flow? Okay, again, we're going through these concepts pretty quickly here, but I mean, this is the education, and you can always come back and review what we're covering here. Okay, we're still bullish until we see something different here. However, on the smaller time frame, maybe this is something you want to exit on. Okay, and then look for another smaller time frame move to the upside, right? Reducing your risk along the way. So here's our move into 45. Okay, now let's see if this is going to be bullish. What we're looking for is buyers up here at 47. Okay, and I don't see it yet. We should get it here actually a little bit. Let's see if we can get a little bit more buying here and probably move to about maybe 48. And why did I think that? Very, very simply, selling here, retest, lack of selling, back up. Okay. And all it did was retest where it came from here and just dropped right here, right? Same things we've been going through again and again. Yeah, you can see that we didn't get our buyers up here. Now this is hindsight, but you know, this is where we need to see those buyers, and we don't see them. Okay, we still may. We don't know yet, but sellers dropped it another leg lower here. Okay, Captain Price, yesterday's close had a lot of volume at the close. All right. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on. I mean, this is, you know, before FOMC tomorrow. So, you know, we're going to see some weird stuff in here. Now, look at this. Triple bottom. Do we get buyers up here? Let's see. If we do, I'm looking for the move higher. I think we can get to 48 now, maybe 50. Okay, that was really quick, but I'm still looking for it. Now, we didn't know that until we got exhaustion here. Let's just cover exhaustion. So this order flow in here, and this is how you can put this together with patterns. And this is really important to understand in order flow. In your pattern here, we have a triple bottom. We have sellers on the first leg, a lack of buyers up here at this lower high. We see more sellers here, but they failed to drop it. Okay. We come back up here, we see a lack of buyers still. Okay. I'm looking for more sellers down here, and I don't see them. I see exhaustion here, which means lack of selling right in here. See how it's just the best bid here? There's a little bit of selling here, not much, but a little bit at 44. That's not like this over here. Okay, so now if there's a lack of sellers here and we can get buyers over in this area in here, basically through the point of control of this little range in here, which would be right here at 44 3/4. And the reason I cover that is because on the higher time frames in your range, if you can get buyers back up above that point of control, look for them to take it to not only the other side of the range, but to break out. All right. So we saw this very, very quickly, and we're like, okay, look, we're looking for buyers up here. If we get them, we're going to 48 and maybe 50. Okay. And this has basically, it's already unfolded. All right. It happened quickly. But again, don't worry about the quickness. You can catch this. There are plenty of time. There's plenty of time to catch these things. However, you have to understand the concepts here in the order flow. The concept here is we have a triple bottom and we had an order flow imbalance in here. Something was was different here on this retest. Okay, so now this is what's going to help you when you look at your candlestick patterns, for example. Let's just do that. Let's go over on our higher time frame and look at our candlestick patterns here. All right, we have a daily here on the left, hourly in the middle, 15-minute on the right. Guys, if you like this education, please hit the like button. You know, this really helps us. Also subscribe to the channel. You know, seeing the interest in the education going this direction is a big help for us. And it doesn't cost you anything. And basically you're just helping us help you more. So that's my sales pitch on it. But it's true. You know, we want to offer you guys a very high quality education, and we think we do. We just want to you know, get your feedback on that. So hitting that like button and subscribe will help us. Come to our Discord as well. Our Discord channel, we have like all sorts of stuff going on over there, like I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. All right, so let me go to some of the questions in here. And guys, in Discord, I don't see any questions. I know a lot of you guys are attending maybe in Discord, but are watching also in YouTube, which makes pretty good sense because we've been using that new market pulse tool, which is audio, has an audio output. I'm gonna bring it up here in a minute. Here we've had really amazing insights with that tool with correlated markets. So we're going to get back to that in a few minutes here, but we're off on a good start here about triple bottoms and understanding order flow, and why this move here. This turned out to be a really nice move, right? And you could have captured a lot of it. The move to 50 for sure, but note this: when it fails over on the other side of the range here, look for this side of the range and maybe potential breakout or trend continuation, which it did. And I would be out at 55 on this one, and I'd look for the next opportunity. Okay, but that's trading on a smaller time frame. On your higher time frame, maybe you're still in this over here, right? You're still in this. Your stop's down here at 36 and you're still in this. Maybe you scaled in and out of this like 2 or 3 times already, and you're just knocking it out of the park. All right, so lots of different ways to manage the trade, but really understanding the order flow patterns within some of these areas here is what's going to give you the higher likelihood of the outcome. All right, and this triple bottom pattern is a good example of it. Okay, so triple bottoms, God, let's just go through this exercise. Like hold on a minute. All right, here we go. Let's put the rubber to the road here. Classic stuff. All right, triple bottom patterns. Here's one right here. Low, 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 break, minimum target, measured move, blah blah. This is just so irresponsible, I feel. It's showing the pattern, it's showing like what it might do and etc. But how do you know that? In fact, you would probably think it's more likely for trend continuation, especially here, maybe here. Okay, and then here's your breakout and retest back to where it broke out from and the continuation. Okay, now you could look at it in all sorts of different ways in here. Right, you might be looking at this as like, it could be like a head and shoulders, you just didn't get the head. Okay, you got like 3 shoulders instead. Right, It's a reversal pattern. But it is the order flow in here that makes up this reversal pattern and make it work. This is what makes it happen and unfold here. So here it is here in Bookmap. Here's your triple bottom pattern here. We have some sell volume on the first leg and the drop here. We don't have much buying up here. That's kind of odd. We have sellers down here. This is where, because of this exhaustion here and these sellers here, I would look for it to break and go lower. It didn't. It came back up here, it rotated again, and it again exhausted here on the buy side. I'm still looking for sellers here and the break. Still, it's looking actually pretty good to do that. We didn't get sellers here. And in fact, we got buyers back up here. That's when we're looking for this to be a triple bottom. Okay, now there's different variations of this as well. And I'll show you a few different variations of it. But this is where we had the buyers come in and we're looking for the move up to, I said 48 liquidity here, and then 50. You know, we looked at that MES earlier, and we noted the 55 liquidity, which was kind of funny. Usually we don't look at that as high liquidity in here, but as zones gave us a little bit of insight actually, which is kind of strange. But if we look at the ES, that 55 liquidity, yeah, it was up here too. It was up here as well. All right. So anyway, let's continue on. All right. So what happened here? All right. So, or let's go through the variations of this pattern here. Because this is kind of an odd variation of it. But yet again, we saw it in real time and we're looking for it. And we had to act really quickly here because you're talking, this is 30 seconds between this dotted line and this dotted line. So this little section in here is like 10 seconds, right? And we had to, you have to jump on it to be able to catch this. However, on this time frame, you had to jump on it to capture it. This will repeat on higher time frames and you'll see it clearly, and there'll be many minutes to be able to get into this position. All right, so just a note on that. This is a fractal market. This is a smaller time frame example of a triple bottom. It happens on higher time frames too. All right, now let's go through a few variations on it because I think you'll find this very helpful. Let's go through, hold on. All right. Okay. So let's suppose on this move to the downside here, we can leave it as is. And then we get this move back up here. We can leave this one as is. We can also leave this one as is. We got sellers down here. We come back and rotate here, and again, we get exhaustion here. What if we had a big green dot, a couple big green dots up here? That would make this even higher probability if we could get back up here at this 45 level, or even maybe if you see a green dot here at around 45, you know, to get up to 45.50, no problem. We'd look for green dots all the way up, right? Pretty big ones. Okay, this is the order flow imbalance that we're talking about in here. All right, so this is one variation of it. There are many. Let's go through another one. All right, so let's suppose down here we had big selling. Okay, then it comes back up here though, and then we had pretty big buying up here. Okay, well that's giving us kind of confliction. And then we come back down here and we see medium selling. We'll just keep it as is. And then we come back up and there'd be maybe a little bit more buying up here. Okay, so a little bit more buying up here. It's auctioning up here. There are buyers up here. Then it comes down here and we get exhaustion like this. There's no sellers. All right, so that's when we're looking for the buyers up in this area here. okay, and for them to pull this market higher. You get the idea here. Let's go through one more just so you can get the idea of these different variations, and we're talking about the auction and the order flow here, and that's really the key, because let's suppose that let's say it looked like this. We got really big buyers or sellers down here. Let's go through a couple things. All right, let's suppose on this one we got pretty big buyers up here, and we got pretty big sellers down here as well. Okay, so we don't do nothing. We do nothing here because it really looks like it wants to break to the downside, and this could be trap volume, and these guys will have to exit. But in this case, let's just suppose that it stopped here. Maybe here actually we had high liquidity at this area at 44. Okay, this would be another variation of it. So maybe here we had, let me just demo it here. We have high liquidity in this area here. Okay, and it trades into it with these sellers, but they fail to break it lower at below 44. And then let's suppose hold on, we come back up, and then we get more buyers up in here again. Okay, these guys are the ones that are trapped. They were absorbed by high liquidity here, buyers, and they failed to move the market lower. And then here's our move, and now we're looking for that break, and we're looking for 48 and 50 and 55. Okay, do these examples make sense to you guys? Do you find this helpful? These variations is in the order flow here is what's going to give the insight to this either failing or breaking, or working, I should say. All right, so let me look at some of the questions in here. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like we have many questions about this. Yeah, it is being recorded, Arthur. It'll be available later. Anyway, I want to go through this because this is really important. This is how you're going to read order flow. And let's take a look at another pattern in here. So where did price go? We're up at 55 again, or below 55. Now that's, again, you know, like I said, I would have taken some off here, or I would have exited at 55, for me at least, and it may go further. All right, but on this time frame and what I'm looking for, I'd be out at 55. I'd have to look at some higher time frame stuff in here to consider it going higher. Maybe 57 here. Looking at some of these wicks and selling pressure, maybe back up to 60. But these are maybes, right? I want to be more. I want more confirmation. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it looks like it wants to do it here. We're at 55 right now, and we see the buyers come in. So yeah, still looking for 60 here. I'm not too jazzed about this, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I don't really like it. It's not from the overall structure of the order flow, buyers and more buyers here. Yes, we'd be looking for the potential break here. It just doesn't look all that convincing with the buying here. Okay, so another rotation down, maybe back into 50, and then maybe it bounces back up. All right, but that would keep me out of the breakout trade. Now we get back up here and we see a lot of green dots up here. Yeah, it looks like higher probability, looking for 58, and then our 60 level. Yeah, or 59 3/4. Yeah, yeah, still looking for it. Looks pretty good. So looking for the continuation here. Would love to see the order book supported underneath here around 53 or 4, and then the move up into 58. Yeah, and we're not getting it. Not getting that support on the bid. Okay, so anyway, again, looking for more buyers up here at 56 for the move to 58 and then 60. Okay, now you can match that with your profiles. Let's go over like another. I want to go through. Well, we can go through a profile trade example here. Okay, so this is not a very. It's not showing a very good example right now. We're looking for a P-shaped profile, meaning lots of volume at the top of the range and very little volume down here, and it's not doing that. Right, so watch this. If we don't get buyers up here and we get sellers down here around 55, look out. Look for it to trade back to some of these high volume nodes in here. Okay, this one looks pretty good right here around 53 or 52. These are our high volume nodes. Okay, so look at the battle already shaping up. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for sellers here at 55 at the bottom of this range. Let's see it. Okay, now let's see them drop it. Okay, and we're looking for, again, what was it, 53 and 52, right? And all they were able to do is drop it to the bottom of the range here. That was it. Yeah, so not too good on the sell side here. All right, so it didn't play out that way, and that's fine. And what we can look at in here though is look what it did. Okay, and we do have sellers down here. Now it may rotate back down here again, and we may find sellers again down here. Right, that would be another scenario like we covered in the triple bottom. And we're not getting that. We're getting our buyers here, so we're going to get our move here to 58 and likely 60. All right, so anyway, that's talking about profiles and order flow within the profiles. Okay, and it's not just the volume here, because the profile makes up the volume, but it's also very much about the order book. Where are they on the bid? Where are they on the offer? Where is the supply? Where is the demand? All right, let's go through the same exercise here. We're on a roll here, so let's do the same exercise with candlesticks. And let's talk about candlestick pattern. I'm going to take this stops and icebergs on chart. I'll just take it off for now. Okay, look at here. Here we go. Okay, looking for our sellers here and looking for the break back down to our high volume node here, 52.5 here on this profile here. This is our chart range volume profile. Looking for sellers to drop it down to here, maybe lower, maybe here. And look at the liquidities already lined up here at 51.5. All right, and we mentioned this. We thought at here we're going to 58. We got our buyers up above here. No, false breakout. Sellers on this side of the range, and now they're able to trade back down here. And we're looking for more sellers down here, more sellers. And we're not getting them. Here's actually a double bottom pattern, exhaustion all the way through here. Watch the buyers come in and move it right back up here. Okay, so it exhausted here. These are happening really quickly. I'm hoping I'm not losing you guys in some of these patterns here. All right, so this was a failed breakdown here, and then we saw the double bottom pattern in here. Okay, and look at the variation in this one. Some sellers, buyers, some buyers, very little, okay, and very little selling down here, but buyers back up here. This is when we look for it. Okay, back to where it dropped from. First stop, second stop, probably around the swing here, you know, or this liquidity up in here. Okay, and now we're going to get our move to 60. Anyway, guys, these rotations, this is what, you know, can set people off on the wrong side. Okay, and then look for stop runs on the other side. Okay, and let's just verify it here. Okay, stop run here on the other side. Stop run here on the other side. Stop run here on the other side. Okay, not a little bit of stops here, not too much. What about down here? Not really, a little bit, but the big stop runs here. Okay, on the other side. All right, again, we're just showing how these markets actually work. Okay, people get trapped and they get stopped out. All right, so we got a lot of good stuff going on in here, and let's cover this candlestick pattern here. Look at this doji. Okay, a lot of guys trade candlesticks. That's great. Now this is a failed breakout up here, and look at the sellers come in. Now, do we get sellers at the bottom of the range here? Yep, they're going to take it back down to here in 50. Okay, this swing here. Okay, or that's what we'd be looking for. All right, now let's see. The candlestick pattern is it needs to close, right? This is a 5-minute candlestick, and we got several minutes to go here. Let's go to a 1-minute candlestick. That might be better. And then we'll talk about the order flow within the candlestick. Okay, well, this is a classic pattern. This is like a kind of like an engulfing pattern. What do you call it? It's like a shadowing or something like that. I don't know. But here's your move up, here's your move down, and your close below the swing where it opened here, looking for sellers to take it lower. Okay, and now let's take a look here. So our candlestick pattern is sellers driving it back down into the range here, and these little wicks down here look like a pretty good area here. We were looking for 50 actually, due to the liquidity here. Okay, so it's not over yet. Let's see if we get sellers here. Now look at the little wick in here. Okay, well, I don't care about that. I care about, do we get sellers here at 52.5? Okay, this candlestick's not giving us much information here. Yeah, now we're getting our sellers, so we're looking for them to drive it down to our 50 level here. Okay, we traded into that liquidity at 52, and we're still looking for 50. Okay, lower high here in the candle, it also closed red. It did close within the range here though of that candle. All right, so your candlestick pattern is basically, yeah, we're bearish here in this 1-minute candlestick pattern here, but we're looking to see, I mean, it's going kind of back and forth in here. We're looking for more sellers down here, and then our move into 50, and that would complete it down into the bottom of the range here, or the swing. Captain Price, geez, I can't, you must be a writer. I can't keep up reading all your comments here. Yeah, you don't want to short. It's bullish day. Yeah, absolutely. Well, then just don't take the short side. I need to cover anything that shows something in the order flow, and explain it. Trader Map, what's the difference between Trader Map Pro and Market Volume Pro? There is no Market Volume Pro as far as I know. Just Trader Map Pro. I don't know. Maybe you can show me the link or something, Arthur. I don't know what that is. All right, interesting move here. Again, the order flow makes this up here, and what's happening in the order flow? Okay, well, we're looking for sellers. We got more sellers down below. We failed to get down again here and get more sellers, and then you can see the buyers test and trade it back up into these ranges here. Now we're getting buyers up here in the top of this range. All right, so and it closed up here in this 1 minute. I don't like it. You know, I'd have to see a lot of buying up here in the order book support it. Else I'm looking for these sellers to try to maybe trap these guys and then finally get back down into 50. Okay, so the order book looks pretty good to support that concept or that theory. You see there's quite a few on the offer here. Now we're just looking for the targets to be pulled down here on the bid and to trade into 50. Okay, let's see if we get the sellers right here right now at 53. I'd be looking for that move. Okay, what about our candlestick pattern? What does it show us? Not much right now. Not much at all. All right. Now we're getting kind of interesting though. If we do get buyers up here, we're likely going to get a breakout here, and even with the candlestick. Okay, so we have some buyers just retested. Look at the lack of buying here. Okay, and now buyers again. Buyers again. Okay, I'd be looking for this break to 50, 56. Okay, and then maybe 58, 58 and a half, maybe 60. We never traded to 60, right? Yeah. Okay, now this is interesting. This is where we get even deeper insight into these markets. The buying looks great up here. Where's the liquidity in here? What's stopping this from going higher? We have an iceberg order right here absorbing all of this buying pressure when we're looking for it to go higher. Okay, that's how, you know, how these markets work. Larger player is up here willing to absorb that buying pressure, and then let's see if we get some sellers to try to drive it lower here. Still an iceberg here. Let's turn on the stops and icebergs. We'll see it in real time. See how this kind of influenced the market. Look at that stop run too. Okay, so here, yeah, we actually here it is. Here's this huge iceberg, guys, that we noticed. It was for 2,041 contracts, and it fully executed. Okay, there was multiple, actually there was 3 icebergs up there. All right, so what looked to be really good for this to come back up here, we're like, well, hold on a minute. Now we have something on the other side absorbing that. One of them canceled, it looks like. Wow, now we're getting our move. Now this iceberg's feeling the pain here. It's going against them. Or maybe they exited, who knows? But whatever it is, we know that there's a lot of buyers back up above this area now. Your price level is set for every tick. I'm not sure what you mean there. Yeah, Captain Price, nice squeeze. Nice call on that squeeze. Yep. Yeah, not very nice call. You know, these icebergs, this is something to note about icebergs, is we really want, Iceberg is just to give us deeper insight and transparency into the, not just the order flow, but the order types that are transacting, and that's good. However, it's just, you know, a few larger players in here. The order flow rules in general, and you know, sometimes you'll see these guys like we're looking for the order flow to support. My point is this: we're looking for the order flow to support the icebergs. Okay, that's where you can get the deeper insight. So the icebergs, just because there's a larger player with an iceberg, doesn't mean that you know, the market's going to sell off and go down 50 points or whatever. It is much more about understanding this as a confluence here. All right, let's go back. Let's take a step back here. Take a breather. We're still breaking out here. And the next level is 60 to 65 or so. These wicks up in here on this 15-minute chart. Okay, and they're breaking out. Okay. Yeah, Captain Price, good reads in here with your overall bullish sentiment. And yeah, it's a really good point to bring up. Like, you know, look at the momentum here on this 15-minute chart, even on this hour chart. Look at that. Okay, this hour candle just closed here, right? This is 11 o'clock, and now it opened this candle here. But that's a pretty bullish candle here. So we're still looking for momentum up into where we can find some sellers here in the wicks, and we know where that is. It is coming up into it right now. Okay, so this kind of 60 to 65 area here, and we're right in it. Oh, okay. Well, then that's a TTW product, Arthur. You could reach out to them about it. I don't know what it is exactly. Yeah, that's on the Bookmap Marketplace. The Bookmap Marketplace is for third-party vendors. We have an API. You too could create an indicator in Java and sell it there. Actually, in Python now too. And you can sell it on the Bookmap Marketplace if you like, or you can purchase others. Let me show you where it is. If you go to bookmap.com, click on more, and then go to Marketplace here. Let's just go to the MBO bundle, and it will show the MBO bundle here. And here's like TTW, another product. So we're actually a client in here as well, but you can see that there are other clients in here. So you know, we're just a client for our own Bookmap Marketplace, basically. You can see it was by Bookmap, by TTW. Okay, by Rhythmic, or from Rhythmic, basically. Here's from Scott Pulcini. Here's from Zoli. Okay, so Zoli has created a lot of indicators in here. All right. All right, I want to go over one more candlestick pattern in here, and this is it. It's doing it already. We're getting our sellers down here. Let's see if we get follow through though. If we do, I'm looking for the sellers to come right down to here, 55. Okay, top of this range here is the concept. Okay, and where it broke out from here. Now, what all it's doing right now is testing the bottom of this little range here. All right, so what are we looking for in the bottom edge here? We're looking for the candlestick pattern looks pretty good. Okay, we got a wick right now, but we got to see sellers here. Right, remember our triple bottom? Sellers, lack of sellers, then this isn't ready yet at all. Okay, we're looking for sellers down here. We're looking for the order book to show more on the offer. Looking for these orders on the bid to pull and maybe add down here to 55. Right, so let's go over our candlestick pattern. We have a wick, nothing doing then. Okay, buyers testing the top of the range here and breaking it. Okay, now let's see if this does this turn into a false breakout. All right, so we'd look for sellers down here, right around this 58. We're getting it. We should get the break then. We're looking for the break lower now, below 55.5 here, down to about 57.5, down to about 55. Okay, here come the sellers. Okay, this is our candlestick pattern. This is the false breakout. Here they are on the other side, filled with volume now, filled with sell volume. So I want to see the sellers continue now. Again, it's the order flow that makes up the candlestick pattern. Buyers really trying. They're really trying here. They're trying to turn this into a false breakdown. Right? And this is just back and forth in here. Well, let's see. If we get more sellers down here, I'm looking for the break. Here's some exhaustion. Looking for sellers right here. After exhaustion, I want to see sellers. Didn't see them. Do we get them now? Yeah, not very convincing. Not very convincing at all. Okay, so on something like that, then if I don't get the sellers that I'm looking for, then it's not high probability. Now we're getting them down here, and we have some buyers on the hook. So let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it here. This here is back and forth to me, and this does not. We're still looking for this move here, lower, and for it to break. But the order flow here is not very convincing in it. Does that make sense? Okay, we're still looking for our sellers here at 56 to continue on down to 55. Now we were looking for that up here at 57.5. Okay, and it has gone lower, but we're still looking for sellers down here at 56 for this continuation. Okay, we see some red bodies in here. We see a big wick here and a red body, so we're still looking for it in the candlestick. To confirm this candlestick pattern and a breakdown here, we got to get sellers at 56 and 56.25. Okay, let's see if we get it on this rotation right here. All right, we have a little doji here. Anyway, guys, just very simple order flow is what we're reading within the candlestick pattern here. And we're not getting what we want right now. Okay, so leave it be. Okay, now, let's see if we get it. Let's see if we do get sellers down here at 56.5, 56.25. All right, one more thing, guys. We'll see if this pans out or not with the candlestick here. Yeah, let's see if we get our sellers here. Here they are. All right, so they should be able to drop it. They should be able to trend it lower, really. Like we're looking for the break here. 55 is the first one. You know, I know that's not, it's a small time frame here, but believe me, this concept here is no different than looking at this concept here on the hourly chart. Okay, that this hour candle here closed up here. Okay, we need to see more buyers back, and see how this can be a false breakout right here on the hourly. Maybe it comes back down to about here, 48, or maybe even 44, or maybe even down to 38. You know, bottom kind of in the middle of this little area here. All right, so same concepts here, but it's the order flow that's telling us. Okay. All right, I want to go through one more thing in here. I didn't demo today, and I wanted to. We didn't get to it, but I want to show you again. I thought this tool has been so good to us so far, and that is the Market Pulse tool. Market Pulse has been, it's a audio alert, and we're looking at correlated markets here on volume pressure. Now we can see four different, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different markets here looking at the volume pressure, and when they cross a threshold I'll get an audio alert. For more information on this, let me show you where you can go. It's on the marketplace. If you look up Market Pulse, click here to see details, and it's today's the last day. It's free, so I think it's going to be 17, but just for initial, I mean, it's still severely discounted here, or heavily discounted, I should say. So you might want to try it out for 17. Anyway, the that's where you can find it. You can also find it on the Bookmap knowledge base. If you go to bookmap.com and you click on more and you go to knowledge base, and then you go to add-on section in the knowledge base, then you'll see Market Pulse volume pressure here, and I'll put this into the chat for you in YouTube and also in Discord. There you go. And in YouTube. How long does it actually take to understand Bookmap? Good question, and we've got a good answer for you. And let's deselect these things here and hear the market a bit. Interesting. We're already hearing the euro dollar sell off here. Okay, so the question on here, now we're seeing euro dollar buying. Sorry guys, I'm just going to mute them again here for now. Wow, we're getting lots of buyers. Okay, we're getting some confluences here, so looking for the buyers to take it up to 58 and maybe 60 here. Right, we're seeing the buyers come in off of this bottom here. So first stop is kind of top of this little range here at 58, and then maybe 60 here. Come on, let's see it here. We got our euro dollar, we got the NASDAQ going. Yeah, these alerts are really, really cool. Alex, it's been so insightful. We just really, when you wait for your correlated markets to all line up, these moves are tremendous. They're just tremendous. Anyway, let's get back to the question here on how long does it take to learn Bookmap. I think if you can kind of drop everything you've kind of learned before and understand what makes price move in here, and that's what we cover in our educational course. Let me show you where it is. If you go here to Bookmap YouTube page, and you scroll down, our educational course is here. Okay, click on view full playlist and watch part 1. we go through things like this in here, like what makes this market move. Okay, when you can start to understand these concepts in here, it will make your double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders, candlestick patterns all understandable. And then it doesn't take long at all. Like, look at this here. We're getting correlations. Great. I want to see this move up to 58 and higher, 60. Okay, what does this pattern look like to you guys right here? And we have market correlation starting to go along with it. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, now it's only a few markets that were correlated here, not all of them. Okay, they might though. They might all tick off here real soon. Okay, right now nothing. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I trade on Bookmap. You can trade on NinjaTrader. That's fine. Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting in here about starting to understand, at least for me, in understanding these markets, like these correlated markets. Note these moves and these swings, and Captain Price is talking about them a little bit here, like retracements. So look at all these markets are correlated now, right? We had a pullback here, and we're getting more correlated markets buying. I'm looking for the breakout here. I'm looking for the move first to the top of the range here. Okay, take some off and then look for the breakout up into 58 and 60. Okay, and that's higher probability here because we have other markets doing the same thing. Okay, makes sense. So we would be looking for it now. 58, 60. Nasdaq's buying up a ton here. Okay, this is kind of a leader sometimes, most times. Now, this is the only one that's correlated. So we got to see the other markets jump in. Okay, YM is starting to jump in a little bit, but we see sellers here too. Yeah, see how these correlated markets, this move up here, and we don't see all those correlated. We only had one correlated market up here working. This is how you can start to filter for it. We were looking for it. We were looking for 58 and 60. No doubt about it. We heard them in here. We heard them in here. This was looking like a reverse head and shoulders. And then we got up here and we had just the NASDAQ, which leads though. So I was still holding on for it, looking for that move. And then everything kind of dried up and sellers came in. Okay, so you'll see, and you'll get this like confirmation, I think, with this tool here to understand when there are many different correlated markets, and they're all kind of chiming off at the same time. That's when you can look for a higher probability move in not a rotation. Captain Price was just talking about this. I think there's going to be another rotation because not all of these markets were aligned and on the same page at that time. Okay, that's one reason to explain it. Right? When you see like, this alignment here in these correlated markets, you will get the move. Let's see if we get something off of here. Bottom of the range, looking for buyers. Now let's see if we're looking for all these markets to tick off, right? Not just NASDAQ. NASDAQ's probably going to hit pretty soon. Yeah, see NASDAQ just hit. Okay, S&P should hit. Russell, we want to see Russell hit, and we want to see the YM hit as well. See how that kept you away from it, buying the breakout here. Okay, it pulled back. Now we're coming back up, a retest here. Okay, we had buyers up here. That's good. No, do we get back up here and do we hear the markets correlate again? Russell's looking pretty good. It's about to tick off. There it goes. There's the Russell. Okay, what about NASDAQ? Nothing, just Russell. Well, that's not enough. And Russell's also hitting on the sell side here too. So nothing doing. Just don't take it. You know, we're looking for confirmation. See how that will keep you away from buying a breakout here? Okay, and then let's see if we rotate back up and we get all these correlations again. All right, let's see it up here, 56. Look at it, the Russell's in a battle. You can even hear, this is what's so fascinating here. You can hear like the trap. This is like all that selling in the Russell right now. If there's buyers, watch this, buyers on the other side here at 55.5. Listen. They're still selling hard here. They're really defending it in the Russell. Now let's hear it. Okay, now let's hear it. I want to see this totally stop selling, and I want to see buyers come in on this Russell. There's the stop. They're still selling it. Look at that. They're fighting it all the way up. Now, here are the buyers. There's the trap set. Now we're looking for NASDAQ, S&P, and YM, and we're looking for a move higher. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Look at that. We have 3 at least correlated here. The trap is set. We heard the trap set. And now we're looking for the stop run. And look at this in the S&P. Look at the stop run here. We just heard the whole stop run unfold. All right, so good stuff here, guys. And I'm still looking for it to go higher here. I'm looking for this to ignite other traders to try to go higher here. In continuation here. YM is selling off a bit. All right, here we go. Now watch, we should see all of these correlate here. S&P, NASDAQ, that's it so far. Looking for Russell and looking for, there we go. Here's our NQs, our YM starting to pick up. And then all quiet. Okay, let's see it again. Probably NASDAQ leads. Maybe Russell. We saw a lot of selling in that Russell down here. All right, guys. I want to show you something else, though. This is yeah, you've been having fun in the Russell, Captain Price. Yeah. Let me get to a few more questions in here. Arthur, you can just do a search for Bookmap on YouTube and it'll take you to the page. You just click on the Bookmap logo and that'll take you to our page. So it seems more traders are using Bookmap, are swing traders than scalpers. No, I wouldn't say that at all. I would say it's a bit of both. Like, it depends. Like, Bookmap is a really great scalping tool. There's no question about that on lower time frames. However, you can zoom out and use this on much higher time frames as well. No question. Right? Just knowing that these markets are fractal and you zoom out and you look at bigger picture. Let's just look at the NASDAQ and zoom out and look at the bigger picture here, for example. All right, so here's our NASDAQ, and let's get rid of these candles. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing but strong move, pullback, strong move, again on NASDAQ. And where might we think it would go? Well, probably up into this 12,125 liquidity up here, you know, something like that. Euro dollar selling off, guys, and buying, so it's a little bit of both there on euro. Yeah, so our move here didn't, we only had NASDAQ kind of correlated here. Here we had Russell and NASDAQ, and we got the move to 58. Okay, now we're coming back up here. And let's see, this is what Captain Price was saying, like these different rotations here. So now we're looking for the green dots up here, and then we're looking for correlated markets also. Okay, if we get that, we should get the move into 60. It's higher probability or more likely that we will get that move at that point. Okay, we know what the order flow looks like. It's holding, and the structure here, this is kind of slightly higher or equal low here, higher low here, higher high here. If we get buyers up here and we get some correlations, we have a higher probability move up into 60 or maybe higher than that. Okay, so just again, you know, putting together, understanding order flow not just from one market here but multiple markets. Now I want to go over, just before we leave here, is go over another algo in here. Right now the only one you have access to is volume pressure. I also want to go over, hold on here, let me see, let me make sure which one it is. I think it's price range. Let's try it. Oh, here we go, guys. Look at the here we got the YM, and almost have the NASDAQ, almost. We have the euro dollar starting to pick up a little bit. Yeah, not much. Let's see if we get back up here again at 58, and I'm actually looking for it. I think this market's got it here. You can see it. They're just kind of playing with it, and watch. I think we're going to get all of these correlated all together here, but we're not going to say anything until we see it or hear it in this case. Okay, it's looking good. Yeah, here's our euro, NASDAQ. Right. All right, here we go. Looking for the move here. NASDAQ going wild. S&P picking up, following. Euro, oh, look at the euro come off and sell off. All right, so that's all we got out of it. See how this euro, like, it's just fascinating to me to see and understand, like, there's some buying pressure and then it stops, and then we see like other market participants and we see the reaction to it here in the S&P. Right, it traded right back down into this little range here. So let's go over the price range in here. Okay, we're going to change the algo to price change. Price change. Price change. And price change. Okay. right, so now what we're looking at here is what's moving. Okay, so and it's based off of a 5-minute. Well, we can go through the settings here, but here's what's moving. All three of these markets are moving. NASDAQ, they're all moving. All right, so this looks good then. This, I haven't really studied this one much, but the movement looks good here, and it's all correlated. So yeah, I think we got some. If everyone is changing price here, and we're getting price movement to the upside, I think we're going to get continuation. I'm looking for our green dots here, and then also a big stop run up into 60, 61, and maybe 63. Okay, all of these markets are moving except Russell. Yeah, this looks good. Just the Russell here is the only one that's holding it back right now. Yikes. Okay, there's that a little trap here. We had the sell side here and price movement on the sell side. Now we're looking for a trap. Come on, buyers. Yep, looking for it. We should get the breakout. Okay, not just 60. I'm looking for more than 60. It should hit up to 63 or so. 61, maybe take some off. Again, guys, I'm sorry. This is not a trade calling room. We're reading order flow, and we're looking for something that aligns with the order flow to look for the price movement. Okay, and literally this market correlation or market pulse and the correlations we're looking at here is literally price movement. So they're all green. So we're looking for continuation here. All right, I mean, it makes sense. They're all correlated, so we should get movement here. Interesting move. Okay, let's see if this turns into a trap here, like we were talking before, a volume trap, or in this case, the price movement is collecting basically some sellers and then trying to get them upside down if we can get back up above them. Yeah, not getting kind of confliction now. Everything was this was interesting. I'm trying to figure out this some of these algos now too. So I mean, this is really I've looked at this just once before, but not in depth with the price movement. So up here we had all of them correlated, but we weren't getting any sounds though, so they weren't going over the threshold, which was weird. Maybe that was the trap, on the buy side here. Let's see. My wife thinks I'm playing Space Invaders. Yeah, it is funny. It does sound like a video game, Ben. I agree. Yeah, Jay, you might have to get some headphones. Uh, I have to say this though. I make a comment about this market pulse and these sounds here. For me, at least, and I recognize this on Friday. Like I really like the flow here, um, and it made me more in tune and like to the market, basically, to kind of understand the market flow. I don't have to look at 12 monitors. I can hear I can hear six different or five different other markets here, going off at the same time or not, and getting insight. Now, what I mean by flow is not order flow here so much. It means more like keeping your attention, um, engagement in here, and understanding the markets at a deeper level. So, what was it? I watched some sort of documentary film on talking about workflows, and how like a short order chef is actually a really happy person, that because the flow of their work is really great. Like, they know they're cooking eggs, they got bacon over here, they have to wrap, they wrap it all up together, blah blah blah. And I think this tool kind of does a nice job of like keeping you kind of in the flow of things. I don't know. Look, whatever helps is what matters. Uh, and if this gives you deeper insight and helps with your workflow, then that's a benefit for sure. It's a Geiger counter. Yeah, Peter, it actually works just like a Geiger counter. In fact, in the Geiger counter, the closer you get to the object, the more it pings. So this algo works the same way. Like the more volume that picks up, the faster you'll hear it. You just won't hear it like ping and ping and ping. It'll ping 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 along with the volume, or in this case, the price movement. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. Call it a day, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. If you like the video or the webinar here, please hit the like button. Like I said, this it helps us a lot, and it's free for you guys. Doesn't cost you anything. It helps us continue here. And subscribe to the channel. Come over and check out our Discord. Get involved in the Discord discussions. We have a lot of stuff going on over there. In fact, Tom B is starting right now, so you might want to jump over to the webinar there. He started at 11:30, and I don't want to eat into his time here. Yeah, lots of traders over there following Volume Profile and Tom B. All right, so yeah, have a good day, everybody, and we will catch up with you tomorrow with JTrader. Okay, bye-bye.